And welcome back to Excel Basics Plus. In today's session, we're actually going to have a look at how you can calculate a person's age based on their date of birth. Now, it might be that you have a sport team, for instance, and you've got all their names and you've got their date of birth, but you actually need to group them into age brackets for the sports teams. You know, you might have your 18 to 20s, your 21s to 23s, and so on and so on. But if you've only got their date of birth, which you assume you'd get from your registration card or something like that, then that does make it a bit difficult. And every year, you're going to have to update at some point during that year their age on your card. Now, there is a number of ways of actually doing this. I'm going to show you two today. The first one I'll show you is the integer method, which rounds down to the nearest decimal point by using a date of birth and today's date. So this one's very simple. It is literally equals INT, which is the integer formula, and we want to have a look at basically the sum, if you like, of today's date. Very powerful tool, that today, open bracket, close bracket, and I'll show you that again in a minute. So today's date less the date of birth, which is D4. So we'll put in D4. And then we want to divide that number by 365 to get years, and close bracket. So it instantly gives you 22. Now, that formula is okay, but it's not great. And the reason for it is that, 365 days in a year, well, every 4 years there's an extra day. And even if you went down the track of saying, okay, well, let's do it divided by 365.25, being a quarter of a day every year, it still doesn't marry up because it depends on when the person was born, in which year, and so on. So whilst it's generally okay, and it just does give you a ballpark, that isn't the best option. So the next option is the date difference formula. Now, the date difference formula literally takes today's date, goes back to the date of birth, and then provides the full years that have completed since that original date of birth. So the date difference formula equals date diff. Simple as that, open bracket. And we're starting with the date of birth in D4, comma. We're looking at today's date as being the end date for the sum function, and we're only looking at years. So it's comma and in brackets, in parentheses, y for years, and close the formula. We press enter, we get 22. Once again, I can double click on the corner of that cell when the plus button appears, and it pre-fills every formula down in the data set. Now, I use the today formula. If I show you this quickly, equals today, open bracket, close bracket, that instantly gives you the fact it's the 12th of March 2021 today. So that is what this formula is doing. It's saying date difference between the date of birth, D4, and this date, and give me the years. Now, if you then open this formula tomorrow, well, that date changes to the 13th of March, which means this could potentially change. If this person's birthday was the 12th of March 1999, well, tomorrow they're going to be 23. So this is why it's important to use a formula in there. Now, the other thing that you may want to do is look at, well, I want their date of birth as at the season start, which is the 30th of June 2021. So we can call that, we'll call it the start date. So how old are they going to be as at the 30th of June 2021? All we do there is we take out the today formula, delete that, and we fix that cell. Remember F4 to get the dollar signs around the cell value so that it fixes it. And that will now tell you, and you'll see instantly Adelaide's age changed from 16 to 17 because as at the 30th of June this year, when the season starts, Adelaide will be 17. The same with Adeline. Adeline went from 45 to 46 because her birthday is the 27th of June and the start date is 3 days later. So there's a myriad of different ways you can do this. The today formula is always a good one to know. The other one, if you're looking at wanting what time it is, equals now, open bracket, close bracket, and it gives you the date and time. So all good formulas to know. The equals now, open bracket, close bracket, equals today, open bracket, close bracket. How to work out a person's age based on either a starting date or on the today formula. It's all good stuff to know so that you can create some efficiencies in your day. Keep practicing. Thanks for watching and look out for the next video. Thanks.